Sir.
I was hoping for a debate like you had with Mr. Galloway in New York, where it was quite a knockdown, drag-out fight. But I guess we need two Brits for that sort of discourse. But I did want to ask, y'all used to be Marxist running buddies, and now you're war in Iraq running buddies. Is this the product of vanity, ideology, or perhaps some sort of religious commonality?
Area of some commonality.
Well, I'm no longer a Brit, and Mr. Galloway never was one. He's a renegade Scot. Of the most revolting dye, and to have a debate on the order of that, we would have to disappoint you, because Mr. Galloway is a thug and a liar and a demagogue and a man who has managed the odd feat of being able to be both a pimp for and a prostitute of Saddam Hussein. My opponent tonight, I need hardly add, is a great deal more elevated in every respect than that, so sorry to disappoint you. I regard the war in Iraq as part of the war against religion. The faith-based parties of God are trying to level Iraq to barbarism, and they're very nearly succeeding. As well as killing each other's children, their fellow Muslim children, which they don't scruple to do, they want to reduce by their religious precepts a once highly civilized and sophisticated society to the level of Somalia or Afghanistan, which is what happens, by the way, to any country when you try to run it out of a holy book. I think we should hereby highly resolve that no country of such importance and no people of such civilization who've been through so much and to whom we've promised so much shall ever be governed that way. We will not abandon them. The jihadists will never have Iraq. What we're doing there is one of the noblest undertakings the United States has ever made.
But as to the question, may I follow up just briefly? As to the question, though, isn't it odd to find yourself allied with perhaps the most religious, fundamentally religious administration the United States has had in recent memory, and with a fundamentalist and evangelical, or perhaps even a dominionist like Mr. Olasky, who coined the term compassionate conservatism? We've seen how that's worked out.
I perfectly understand that. I mean, all my friends in Iraq, my Iraqi and Arab and Kurdish friends in Iraq, are all secularists. For all I know, every member of the 82nd Airborne Division is a professional snake handler. But what they happen to be fighting for is a secular Iraq. So I would think the irony was at the expense of the religious rather than the secular. Pascal's way, it's not known to you, comes from Blaise Pascal, who addresses his pensée to the one who is so made as that they cannot believe. That's me. And he says, well, let me put it to you like this. What have you got to lose? If you bet that God exists and loves you and you're wrong, you're no worse off than you were already. If you bet, and you're right, there is no such thing. You're no worse off than you were already. If you're wrong and there is, you win, as long as you have said you agree with him. So why don't you do it now while there's still time? I have two comments on this. One, religious hucksterism of the cheapest, vulgarest, nastiest kind it's possible to imagine. He says, what do you got to lose? I've got a good offer for you. Come into my used car lot. Come on, baby, just lie a little, and you never know. No, don't talk to me like that, and don't call it piety when you do, or be prepared to have piety despised. Second, Bertrand Russell, when asked this question, said that if confronted with his maker, he would say, I used to be able to do his accent, "Oh Lord, you did not give us enough evidence." I would go a little further. I would say, well, look, boss, if it's true what they say about you, that you're an infinitely kind, forgiving, all-fatherly person, this is certainly what your fans keep saying, do you not have a little room in your, obviously very capacious heart for someone who just couldn't bring himself to believe in you, and really, honestly, truly couldn't? As opposed to someone who won't spend half their life on their knees making fawning professions of faith because Pascal told them it was a good bet. Which of us is the more moral? Which of us is the more honest? Which of us is the more courageous? Which of us has the bluest eyes and is the most sexually attractive? Which of us has the real charisma here? I'm just only asking.